Hello everybody, hello, welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Let it go live, see what kind of information comes through for us. Looking at the planetary shifting. Got some stuff happening. Alrighty then. Oh, finger stuff. Let's shuffle the cards. See what we got going on in here. Jiminy crickets. It's so amazing to me. Hello. Excuse me. Hello. Collective energy, please. Spirit, planetary storyline. What's happening with the planet? Planetary macro can be applied micro if it fits for you. Macro, planetary storyline. What's happening for the people? Well, it looks like we've got God's searching perhaps for the earth angels. Or maybe he's studying the research that the earth angel has been doing. Oh, and somebody, these powers of three perhaps could be having some kind of anxiety over the law of cause and effect, like the return, the bounce back, the boomerang. Oh, you got public recognition, some kind of a victory here, and you're leaving behind whatever it was that was bothering you. Whatever it was that's bothering you. Ooh. All right. In the central energy. Ew, five of wands. Somebody wants to fight. Somebody wants to fight. Competition. The most hilarious thing is that, regular folks don't know they're in a competition. Of course, they don't really recognize that they've been intentionally held back in stagnation either. So, in the challenge position, King of Swords, Divine Masculine has mental clarity over whatever this competition is, this rivalry. That's what they were talking about earlier. Rivalry, rivals being rivals. Isn't it amazing how some people are just out there wanting to love and do good in the world, and somebody else who's like, they want to be a rival. They want to tear you down. It's like, because they don't, happiness. They're happiness haters. They don't like happiness. In the subconscious. Hello from Sandra. Hello from Connecticut. Justice. Justice is being served. The law of cause and effect. The King of Swords is here. He knows the truth about this conflict, this rivalry. So the law of cause and effect is in order. Hello, Biometric from South Africa. In the recent past, we've got, excuse me, 6 of Swords there. So you may have transitioned, you may have moved on, you may have moved out, you may have gone somewhere, left something behind, released some baggage, that maybe let go of some responsibilities that weren't yours. Intentions and expectations is 10 of Cups. Releasing the baggage, moving on. You're going to go have total love and support, divine love. I heard the antagonizer was talking about a woman building a paradise, and they want to take part in it. Problem is they're having trouble with this liturgy thing, you know, religion. So they don't want to go be with this person who's building a paradise because she's a woman, and they don't like that kind of stuff, you know. So they're really upset about it. They don't want to really collaborate because they're embarrassed, for one, because they wanted to undo this person, and instead she survived and is out there building some kind of a paradise. And there's some folks out there who want to take part in it, but they're being let go, you know, so. Could be a dangerous situation, you know, even if they were to finally say, okay, whatever, then it'd be very dangerous because it's not coming from the heart. So we got the Fool here, a brand new beginning. a brand new beginning, you know. They're not happy because they were not able to stop this from happening. There's new ways being presented or being spoken, different viewpoints, different perceptions are being shared out there on the internet. Some folks out there are really upset about the First Amendment, the freedom of speech and whatnot. They're really upset about the prophets and the prophetesses and the oracles all talking about whatever it is that they're picking up on, or just people in general with regarding their life and what has happened to them and what they did to overcome their challenges and all of that. They really don't like it because you sharing your story and whatever this is going on is helping people, and you know, they're concerned. They need people to follow them. And you're out here like divinely connected, and you're not out there, you know, expecting a man to bring you closer to your divine mother, father, creator, you know, which is pissing them off because they need memberships in their, you know, their system of worship. And it just dawned on me, like, worship, you know, most wars are religious wars. It's weird that they would say worship. So they need congregation. They need people to power this worship, whatever that is, you know, this combined intention, whatever. It's war, and they're worship. So, and they come right out and say, these masculines, they say that they're like, you know, the king of war, the god of war, or whatever, I don't know, but they love war. They worship war. And it's weird because government loves war, religions love warships, and so it's just weird to me. It's just weird. So we got a Knight of Swords here. Somebody's rushing forward, trying to defend their belief system because they've got a Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. So limited success or reward. Their work did not produce any results. They're upset about that, so they're rushing in. They want to like defend their beliefs. Why didn't it give me the reward I was looking for? I mean, apparently, so now they're going to go attack. They want to go attack somebody who's in charge of divvying out rewards or something. in the environment, we've got temperance energy in the reverse. So they're out of balance. They could be overindulging in substances. Their mind might be really going off with this Knight of Swords energy. Hopes and fears. Ace of Pentacles. They want this Ace of Pentacles. Isn't that wild? Five of Wands, Knight of Swords, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, Temperance in the reverse. They thought if they just hit somebody over the head with a stick, they could just take the wallet and then just go on about life, right? Like whatever. This is what it is. What's the outgoing energy, please? King of Pentacles. All right, well, we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Wands here. So she's determined to live her life. She's very passionate about it. She doesn't want to give it up. And she's coming into a wish come true, a life of luxury. These ones were fighting the Divine Feminine for this reward, these gifts that she has earned through overcoming challenges and surviving, you know, a lot of nastiness. And these others are afraid because they're losing the money. They could be getting kicked out. Kicked off the foundation. Poverty, insecurity, financial loss. Yeah, they're afraid because it could be because the Star has control of the foundation. Thank you. Thank you. So the Star, the shining ones, the luminaries, perhaps the suns and the stars, have control over the foundation. And these ones, you know, they're saying they're going to take you back to square one. Well, no, it's like keep it simple, stupid, right? According to the Navy. Now, I like to say keep it simple, sweetheart. But, you know, the simpler, the better. You know, everybody needs to be able to understand what's going on. And that's the way to do it, is just keep it simple. Somebody is getting disconnected from a new opportunity. Perhaps with the King of Cups. The Divine Masculine, the love of Divine Masculine could be closing out the cycle. Yeah. So we've got the Five of Wands here in the central energy, competition, rivalry. They were talking about, I posted a video earlier about rivalry. So they're talking about rivalry for this funding. And that shouldn't have been that way anyway. They should have been busy building, earning, creating, constructing, you know, and instead they wanted to tear down people who were doing those things and then taking their stuff and pretending that they actually did it. So sudden wealth. They wanted sudden wealth, interest. They wanted the money. That's all it was. They were fighting for the money. They were interested in sudden wealth. So they wanted to fight. They didn't want to actually do the work to earn it. They just wanted to go beat down whoever it was that had and then take it. King of Swords is here in the challenge position. He knows what's going on here. Self-discipline. Self-discipline. So focused on the long-term discipline rather than short-term comfort. He knows the truth over those who focused on the long-term discipline, those who earned the wealth, and those who were beating them over the head with their sticks, their wands, whatever, trying to gain short-term profit. Those who produce and those who consume, basically. And isn't that odd that those who consume the production of another life call the life that produced it a needless feeder? Isn't that weird? They call them non-essential, and yet they absolutely 100% require their presence in order to be this high roller. He thinks because he's a man, all he needs to do is go beat somebody over the head and take their stuff, and they have to give it to him because their mind is so powerful, right? So justice is here, the law of cause and effect. The scales are being balanced for family. Justice. Because you got Casanova here, Mr. High Roller, Mr. Banging whatever has a hole, just as long as you can get paid to do it, has been stealing the wealth out of families. And so we've got the Six of Swords here in the recent past, moving on, releasing that baggage. Baggage. Nobody needs that kind of baggage. Justice on behalf of families. Oh, and I just noticed this. There's a woman and a child. There's 3 people there. Look, there's a man steering the boat, but there's a woman and then a child there too. I thought it was 2 people, but look, there's a woman and a child and a man. So this family here is going off. Look, they're releasing the baggage. They're releasing the baggage of these consumers. These who have been gaining or siphoning or whatever the profit off of their own labor, right? So they're leaving behind the consumer and they're moving into this 10 of Cups. A lot of people are upset because the scales are being balanced. There's not going to be astronomical wealth while another family lives in poverty. That's not how a healthy community lives. And you got High Roller, Mr. High Roller here wanting to fight for all of this wealth because they didn't want to have less and they didn't want to get a job for sure. It's much easier to beat people up and put on a suit and pretend like you're an actual whiz or something. No exit. No exit. No exit. Divine love. So you're leaving behind this Mr. Consumer. The intention and expectation, you're going to have divine love here. And you may not ever leave. Like nothing that anybody ever does will be able to get you kicked out. Like this might have happened a long time ago where somebody framed you for a crime or whatever and you got kicked out or whatever. Yeah, that's not going to happen this time. So there's no exit. So you're going to get this 10 of Cups, beautiful forever, like eternal divine love. And you're removing or releasing this kind of baggage. And it could be wherever they go. I don't know where they're going to go. But wherever they go, there could also be no exit. You get a new beginning here. False flame. So you're getting a new beginning here. And we got the false flame here. You got your guard up, like no. So there's no agreement, no collaboration, no marriage, no contract, no friendship, no partnership, no association, no energetic entanglements, no thoughts, no attention hounding, no attention driving, no nothing. Nope, no false flame at freaking all, is because they had you on a serious roller coaster, stealing all the wealth of families, and they're just not going to be able to do this. So you got the freaking barrier up, and they were talking about maximum security and how in the territory, this new territory, this 10 of Cups territory, everybody's getting scanned to make sure. I don't know what the scanner is, but apparently it's a new device that has been created in order to pick up on, like, you know, I don't know, cloaking, you know, the Agent Smith, whatever. So there you got your barriers up to false flames. Those who are who don't pass the scan test or whatever, they're not going to get in. So we've got the Knight of Swords here. They're trying to think fast because 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. They worked without results. They were fighting with you, trying to get this money by clobbering you in the head and forcing you to become their footstool or whatever. And it didn't work out. False flame. Barriers up. They cannot pass go. Yeah, so we're not dealing, so they took a gamble is what they did by fighting with the supply, and then they lost the gamble. They effed around and found out, and they lost. They gambled and they lost. They worked without results. They were not able to capture the temperance angel. They don't have temperance. They could be overindulging in something. Well, we got a lot of cards out here. So somebody, they're caught in the tensions. So temperance in the reverse. There could be a lot of extreme stuff happening here. Because the gift, you were the gift, and you are guided from above. You were the guidance system. You were the gift. You were the prize. You were the wealth, and they lost you. And now she is strangling Mr. Casanova because there's no balance. They didn't get the angel. She can't be seen as the angel. You are. And you've got guidance from above. They're thinking about your Ace of Pentacles. Your new adventure. Social mask, abandonment. So somebody abandoned love for money. They're thinking about your abundance. They want to harvest it. Maybe they did. They abandoned you. Somebody might have been wearing your persona, your mask, your face in your legitimate role of authority. They siphoned your energy and then stepped into that role as you and then misled everybody. They abandoned love. They decided to put on a mask of some false success story. They abandoned you and love, and now they're getting abandoned. King of Pentacles there on the outgoing energy. Numbness. He could be drinking. He could be drinking. Lost touch with his true self. We got promotion channel. Forward. Numbness. Oh. Casanova might be out there promoting your channel, fixing the algorithm or something. They might want to try to come in here and gain some kind of a contract and exploit you. What, they've missed their deadline and they need an escape. But we've got a rejection here. Rejection, no to the digital whisper. So this could be a Mr. Casanova digital whisper, somebody pretending to be somebody they're not online, and they may have gotten a rejection. They're drinking. They want to be a Casanova to somebody. They want to latch onto somebody's savings and their hidden power. Somebody's being condemned for taking your big box of gifts there and giving you that little POS and then walking off. The dude had everything he needed to build a house. The mother there was supposed to add life to the house, to fill it with everything that life would need. That's why she has this big box. But he took that big box, left her with that little POS box, and then boogied off and was little Mr. Casanova Hobag and spending all those big gifts and misusing all of those special gifts to hurt people, to hurt the person that he took them from, to frame them, to condemn them. But you were able to bend without breaking, to yield without, and then to bounce back. And you were able to break through. Look, honor. You were able to break through. And people can see that you're high honor. Digital detox. Somebody's getting an ultimatum for this copycat catfish and stuff. There's a lot of conversation about that recently. And so people are getting an ultimatum because they've been spreading misinformation and causing confusion and manipulating divine feminines and their pathways with this catfishing copycat bullshit, trying to get a surprise. They underestimated you and your gifts. You're moving into your destiny. You're moving into your destiny, and these third-party enemies were just faking it. They're actually just teddy bear people, and they're getting a warning. They're getting a warning regarding peeping on independent women. Like, they got to stop doing that. They got to stop stalking independent women. And that's bad news. They're starting to malfunction. They can't come in to see. See, these ones I've heard the curators say, and other people, they're nasties. They said if she's single and living alone, they can go and do whatever they want with her, meaning they can go in and harvest her energy anytime they want. If she doesn't have a husband or whatever, they just go in and do that. And then they violate the energy of women that are single, and then they call them prostitutes. They prostitute the energy. They have everybody effing over there in an orgy, and then they come back and dump it onto the woman so that they can violate her energy and have God see her as a prostitute and then make her stay here trapped. But these are nasty freaking people, man. So the bad news is they're starting to malfunction. It could be that they're trapped and they cannot reverse whatever it is that they did. You have help. You have help now from a new family tree. You were gifted a new family. Yeah. It could be that those were comparing their value, their wallet to yours. I mean, you know, people may say that you're a peasant. Maybe you don't have a lot of money and they got a lot of money and you're out there, you know, doing your thing all on your own, exploring freaking universes and stuff in your mind. and they're over there counting dollars, right? And you're like, dude, that's not where it's at, right? So they're going in the shredder. Whatever this commitment is, there's a shredder. There's no more commitment to these people, to Casanova, and danger is approaching them. So the Five of Wands is here. They were in competition for sudden wealth. They were only interested in material gain. Mr. Casanova here wanted to go beat this woman over the head for her opportunity in the territory. They wanted the wealth that belongs to the territory. They were fighting for the wealth, sudden wealth, that belongs to the territory of this family. They've been talking about this woman. They say that she doesn't have the right to be in the position that she is, but her DNA is a match. Like she is a direct descendant of somebody that is supposed to be in a specific position within this territory. And you got these nasty freaking hoe bag jacks out there that have been violating the divine feminine, whether she be, no matter her status. A lot of women have been kept single for a reason, because these nasties have been out there prostituting the energy. So the King of Swords knows the truth about this routine of this Casanova person here. We've got waterproof. Casanova, their rivalry, it's not having any effect on anybody. Yeah. Those who are focused on long-term discipline rather than short-term comfort, whatever this is, it's this conflict, it's waterproofing right off of them. And that's the thing, you know, people who chose sobriety, who chose purity of their energy and their way of living, they didn't mix it and just go be whatever, they held it together pretty well. So there's justice, the law of cause and effect. Justice is happening now on behalf of families and the family trees that have been battling this parasite for a long time. I like to refer to them as a bark beetle, because we've got the roots in the shadow and we've got the crown in the light, and then in the center, which is supposed to be the planetary stabilizer, the tree, the connector, the bridge, these parasites have been in there like bark beetles, kind of chewing everything up, trying to wiggle their way in there, like that parasite that kind of operates the praying mantis. When you put it in water, you get this big long worm thing that comes out. Well, the praying mantis itself is dead, but it's got this big thing in there that's operating it as though it's alive. It's a weird thing, and I think sometimes when they go in there and they parasite these trees, like the clones, they get in there, they're like the parasite that gets inside and they operate it like a worm or something. So you're leaving behind the Six of Swords, leaving behind these consumers, these people who were trading your love and all of that good stuff for money. They didn't want nothing but money. You've got insight, the golden nugget, whoever you are, you're this beautiful golden energy, which is like royalty, royal and loyal. You've got insight into what's been happening here. Oh, hold on. This is right here. You've got insight here. The families have insight. You're the golden nugget, the family tie, the direct descendant. You could be the direct descendant of somebody, the golden nugget, like your royalty, a princess or something And so you brought back all of this information, which is valuable, and you're a direct descendant. This is your position. And you've got these nasties out there, these high rollers, and they're so mad because the wealth belongs to you. And they're like, and the territory too. And they're just so upset because they want it. This is their playground. This is their brothel, right? This is where they make the money. Hoarding. Distance in the reverse. Consumerism. Distance in the reverse. So it's what? It's happening right now. There's some kind of a transition happening right now. For consumerism, this disposable life that everybody's become accustomed to. 10 of Cups is here, divine love, total love and support, but we've got no exit. It's like once you're in, you're in. You're not getting out. Everybody's going to be scanned. You have to be measured and approved before you get in. There's a lot of safety nets. It could be that this consumer here and now is not able to get out. Maybe they're trapped. Trickery. You're not, there's no trickery. So yeah, we're not letting in any trickery. Once you're in, you're in. And there's no coming and going. There's no inviting any friends from, you know, the neighborhood over yonder. No, that stuff isn't going to happen. We've got a new beginning here. And the false flame, you've got the wall up to the false flame. They're not allowed access here. We've got anticipation. It could be that they're anticipating there's nobody in the crowd. They won't have anybody to harvest. They won't have anybody to play. Knight of Swords is defending their beliefs. They worked without results. They took a gamble and they lost. And and they're being watched now. They're being surveilled. I've heard them talking about that, surveillance. They're feeling a little upset about that. So we've got Temperance in the reverse. They could be overindulging or going to some kind of an extreme. We've got this woman here, this Jezebel or whatever, choking out Casanova. Like, what the hell you mean? The gift is guided from above. What do you mean? So she's mad because she was supposed to be seen as the gift, and it's not working out. They weren't able to trap the angel, and they don't have the angel energy. They're not able to get it. And you've got this insight here. You're the golden nugget. You've got the golden energy, the royal energy, the royal family. Justice is here. Yeah. Oh, and that came out. Wrath. What's this one? Wrath and displacement. So yeah, they're being, yeah, okay. And it's these two too. So because they've got an upside down perspective and they've been scavenging the family. So there's some big trouble. We've got guidance from above. So the Most High God, God's wife, the brother, sister, uncle, cousin, friend, grandpa, whoever, you know, is all here right now throughout. And you've got this beautiful guidance here. You are the gift. And somebody is strangling Casanova because you're seen that way. They're like, they're mad. You weren't supposed to make it out. This is golden nugget. You were supposed to remain trapped. Nature. Number 32. It is our connection to nature that fills our spirit and reunites us with divine energy. Living in a city full of concrete buildings, it can feel as though Mother Nature resides so far away, but she is here in the grass that sprouts up in the cracks on the sidewalk, in the overgrown empty lots, in the birds that mingle with us in the park. All we need to do is look, and we will find that connection. It may indicate that you are long overdue for some outside time. Nature. So Mother Nature, guidance from above. You're the gift. They weren't able to trap the angel, the earth angel. Somebody's caught in some kind of tensions. They're thinking about your Ace of Pentacles, your abundance. They abandoned you. They wore a mask as you. Hello, thank you, Jackie. Teamwork. Abandonment. There could be a whole team. Somebody may have helped this social mask wearer who abandoned you. Whoa, and they might have been abandoned by their team. They're looking at your financial opportunity. There's abandonment. Efforts seem invisible and feel undervalued. So somebody wearing a social mask is feeling genuinely hurt because their team might have abandoned them. King of Pentacles, numbness. They might be using substances, drinking a lot. Resistance. Numbness, resistance, risk, What, they were playing with your abundance in the dark side, in the night, consuming it, consuming, self-interested, consuming the little white mouse that was supposed to become the big white bird. Yeah, they're going to get displaced for causing all of this upheaval. And they're being warned here about pulling up seeds that are supposed to be growing in this community. The history of communication, the past, this telepathic interference. You're protected from that. They could be getting released, or maybe you are releasing them as you fly high above these ghosts. You've got a new bond. You've got a new bond here. And you could be going in a new direction. These influencers, the influence that once was like kind of negative, low vibrational, you're taking it in a new direction. Higher. You know, something that was like an upside down perspective, doing mirror magic on people, casting illusions, messing with people's lives, scavenging their lives, giving them a reason to survive. It could be now they're going to have a reason to survive. It could be that God's going to be delivering wrath to them. Why? Because you stayed balanced while these ones were trying to dominate you. Damn, now they're in fear. People might be curious, trying to mimic you. Or maybe those who were curious trying to mimic you. You are free now. Maybe you got your gifts and you are free. And they're in grief here. Because their routine in the sacred space was to go over and back. They were committed to an empty nest. Distracting people. It got exposed, this battle. Leaving you alone. Siphoning your luck. Oh, there's preparation. They're going to lose everything. Hello, 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 hello. So the Five of Wands, it got Casanova was going for sudden wealth. They wanted to get rich quick scheme. They thought they'd beat somebody over the head and get all their money. in the territory. They wanted the territory. They wanted the money of the territory. They wanted it all. Now, they wanted it all. This thug wanted the territory that belonged to a family of royals, a family of golden royal ones. So yeah, this thug, Justice is here. King of Swords knows the truth. Long-term discipline rather than short-term comfort, and waterproof. Whatever it is that they're trying to stick to you is rolling right off of you. This thug. Shocking news. Shocking news. You're getting your wish. Justice is being served. The law of cause and effect for family and these family ties. They were taking you for granted. So you're learning from one another and you're going to evolve as a unit. This golden nugget, this royal one, they called this feminine a prisoner of war. They had captured her, but she got free, and now she has all this information to share. We've got leaving behind the consumer, these masculines, and we got distance. Like right now, there's no distance. Like they got what, bad credit? They're in debt. They're in debt. Unemployed. 10 of Cups. Once you're in, you're in. It's like there's no exit. This is like a forever thing. You're going to be very scanned very well, I guess. There's some kind of identity, maximum security. There's not going to be any trickery allowed. It's going to be very well. Somebody said that she's building a paradise. They want to take part in it. But these religious elders are very upset. They don't like the voice of a woman. They don't like her having this relationship with God. They despise this royal family. These religious people despise this royal family. They want their territory, this territory, and the money that goes with it. They're complaining about their liturgy. They're complaining about their members occupying their warships, empowering it with their camaraderie, their common whatever ground. So there's no trickery. We're not dealing, once you're in, and that's it. We're not dealing with any trickery from some kind of psycho. From some psycho. We're not dealing with any trickery from some psycho. Once you're in, and there's no going out, going and passing information back and forth with some psycho. Nope. We're not dealing with any trickery. So if you're in and there's discovery that I don't know, man, that you're trying to Judas somebody. Well, once you're in, there is no getting out unless something happens. But I don't think that they're going to be able to ever go back to Mr. Psycho here. Not dealing with no trickery from Psycho Man. We got the Fool here, so there's a new beginning. Trust in life, taking a leap of faith, going forward, innocence and purity. We've got barriers up for false flames. Those people who have been gathering energy from this type of a thing and then dressing up in it and pretending to be that vibrant light. Yeah, so they have anticipation of an empty crowd. So there won't be anybody to harvest off of. God said that this is the end of their relationship with batteries. They're not going to be able to trade your life force in for money. They're just not going to be able to do that. Somebody loves you. and you're free. Somebody's anticipating. Somebody loves you. They're not going to be able to siphon us out. Like you're free. You could be free to go and get married. Like that, whatever contract this was with this false flame, it's over now. It's over now. So the Knight of Swords is trying to think fast. They didn't make any profit. They took a gamble and they lost. They were seen or they're being observed. They're worried about some kind of surveillance. Love spell. They're being watched. They could be watched doing a love spell. They took a gamble. They were spying on somebody. They tried to do a love spell. It didn't work. They lost. They worked without results. The love spell didn't work. The Temperance Angel is in the reverse. They don't have any temperance energy. They weren't able to capture a Temperance Angel. They may be going to some kind of indulgence, some kind of extremes. We've got Jezebel or Copycat, Catfish, is strangling Casanova because you are the gift and you have guidance from above. It's very clear who you are. You're identifiable. Catfish and Mama ain't going to be taking your place because it could very well be that, whoops. That you have a special bond with Mother Nature. Guidance from above. Mother, Father, creators of all that is. Oh. Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine. Nature. Guidance from above. You're the gift. This person who's in Temperance reversed, they're strangling Casanova. They're so mad. They're thinking about this Ace of Pentacles and how they abandoned love and they wore a mask and they worked as a team trying to get the merchandise that belongs to the Earth Angel. They weren't able to get it. They weren't able to get it. It could be that you pray in secret. These people, these religious people, they may see you as sacrilegious. Somebody mentioned they were asking if you were a pagan. And this is so ridiculous. Right in the Bible, it says to pray in thine own closet. So prayer and relationship with the Most High God is a personal thing. And women have been getting burned at the stake for coming out and talking about it for centuries. It's crazy. So your conversations, your prayers are secret. God knows what's going on here. It could be that your team heard your prayers. They know that this mask wearer abandoned you. Divine Feminine, they abandoned you. Threw your love in the trash, put your energy on, and then went with Jezebel and had a great time, pretending that they were some kind of success story. King of Pentacles could be drunking, kicking himself in the head. He's like arguing with himself, trying to numb out, trying to escape his emotions. We've got resistance. They might be drinking over the fact that you resisted. You were supposed to be an easy target. And it's too late. Fed up, too late. They might be trying to resist. Fed up, too freaking late. And that was the words that I saw 17 months ago when I was praying about what was happening to me. I saw in white lightning, just like this, fed up. Only it was, the up was underneath. It was in two lines. Fed up, capital letters in white, like white lightning. fed up. And then people started getting their butts kicked. Love hate. Karmic lesson. You have learned your lesson over this love hate thing. And now you're getting detached. Or maybe you are rejecting those who ghosted you. Those who ghosted you. Those who threw your love in the trash. You're like, out. Get out. You're not coming into my damn paradise. And now they're drinking to cope. Drinking to cope. They may have said that these people are led twin flames into a toxic lifestyle in order to tap into their spiritual gifts. And now you're turning your back on them because of what they did in the past. Contracting with you, kicking you to the curb while siphoning your energy and then stepping into your role. Yeah, now they're feeling like shit. They're having a heartbreak. Oh, they fell into their own trap. They're trapped by their own intentions. You love yourself. And they chose Jezebel. And we're closing the cycle on this reckless sex with Jezebel dressing up in the energy of the apple, the divine beings. They left you hanging. And so now you're saying goodbye. They could be running. People might be getting unalived. They could be trying to hide. They've got some bad news here about a love child that they backstabbed, a beloved child of a divine being. So this is a direct descendant of a very high vibrational upper dimensional being. They got married to this daughter, and then they betrayed the daughter, played mind games, backstabbed, created illusions by siphoning the energy and hurting people with it. Yeah, they were sex addicts, and they're not happy. Look, they did all kinds of nasty crap in this divine person's energy with this stupid marriage, with this psycho. Now they're getting blocked. They're getting blocked and they're having massive regrets. But they're sitting there with their person, trying to tap into somebody else. They need to gain. They need to siphon somebody. They could be getting readings, but they're being separated. Yeah, well. So 5 of Wands, competition, some rivalry. They wanted sudden wealth. They were chasing material gain. This thug wanted the wealth of the territory that belongs to this royal family. This golden family. Chew. You could have chewed over this subject. You may have discovered the truth about it. Solved the puzzle. King of Swords is here. He knows the truth. He has mental clarity regarding, because you were focused on the long-term discipline rather than short-term goals. You were looking into and gathering evidence long-term, many lifetimes. And now you're getting your wish. Whatever they're throwing at you, it won't stick. You're waterproof to whatever their magic is. And this is shocking news to them. You don't drink. You have self-discipline. This is shocking news. That they're trash. Somebody is seen as trash. Whatever they are, you're getting your wish. This stuff is waterproofing right off of you. You chose sobriety. You chose sobriety. Which means they're seen as trash. They might have been trying to stick this stuff to you, but it just waterproof. It rolled right off of you. Like they could be trying to get you to be all upset and go take a drink or something. But you're getting your wish because you are self-disciplined. You did not choose to do that. They can't control you like that anymore with these gateway things, drugs. So justice is happening on behalf of this royal divine family, this golden family. You were a prisoner of war, divine feminine, and you were caught in this little jar here, but you have been emancipated. You're this beautiful golden nugget, and you found out all kinds of information as to what these people were doing. You're a direct descendant. Your DNA matches. Somebody is in eternal regret because they're getting let go. These masculines and their feminine counterparts, they're getting let go. They're in eternal regret. You have gained insight, you golden little nugget. And now justice is happening here. They're being let go. You're leaving them behind. Those who were trading love in for money, consuming their family tree. Right now, they are seen as unemployed. They got bad credit. They got a lot of debt. We've got an encounter. You might meet somebody by chance. Your 10 of Cups union. Once you're in, you're in. There's no exit. We're not dealing with any trickery from some psycho who doesn't want to let go. We're not dealing with them. You are the key. You've discovered the core of the problem, and there are maximum security measures being employed within this territory. We've got the Fool here, so there is a new beginning. The false claim, there's barriers up for the false claim. Somebody has anticipation of you actually getting a proposal. It could be that they also have anticipation that they're not going to be able to feed on you anymore. You are free to move forward. You might be getting married soon. We got a mirror here. You could be free of the mirror appearance. Knight of Swords, defending their beliefs. They worked without results, so they gambled you and they lost. They gambled you and they lost. They did love spells. They could be getting watched, or maybe they were spying on people and then doing love spells, trying to get some kind of commitment so that they could drain them of their coins, their happiness, whatever. Miss you. So they're trying to do love spells. They might be spying. Maybe they're being watched, trying to connect with you. Temperance in the reverse. They're getting caught up in this tension. Something's happening. There's a barrier to intimacy. Unable to form close relationships. Caught in the tension. The gift. You're the gift. You got guidance from above and Mother Nature. You are the divine feminine. The white rose. Innocent. These ones had been exploiting. The divine feminine. The innocent rose. Guided from above. Ace of Pentacles. They wanted your merchandise. They wanted your gain. They threw your love in the toilet. They didn't care about you. They just wanted to wear your energy and pretend that they were an angel. We've got a team here. We've got secrets and praying. There could be a team of people praying for you. But we've got a snake. Lie. Lie. Somebody lied. Somebody lied. They kept it secret that you were praying, that you were in alignment with the Most High God, Mother, Father, creators of all that is. They lied about you. They kept it a secret that you were loyal to the divine. They were trying to frame you as some wanton little pussy. King of Pentacles is drinking to escape. You are resisting, or they're resisting. Somebody's God is fed up, and it's too late. There's a breakup here. Maybe you are fed up. This is the end. This is a separation. It's too late. It's too late. This is a pause, a cool down on the rose. The rose has a commitment. The rose has always been committed. And the rose is getting a new commitment, a promise, a new family right here. Somebody loves the rose. And so the rose is getting a new person. They're free. And they're faithful. They pray. And this team of mask wearers lied. They didn't see that this person was guided from above. The gift. See, they took her gift in that one picture. They took her gift and left her with this tiny gift. But she was the gift, not just what she was presenting. She was the gift. Extra big. And they threw her away and chose this other thing. And they didn't know that she was connected to God, to Mother Father, and the Mother Nature, and being guided. And now the sun is setting on them. Night is falling. They could be running away. You could be psychic, and they're very upset about that. They're addicted to you. It could be there's photographs of this toxic attachment. In the history, obsession. You're an obsession with you. That's the hidden truth. The hidden truth. You're the treasure. And now you're getting a new beginning. You and your animal friends. It could be that somebody's drinking over your reconciliation. You were there and now you're there. You were single and happy and now you're going to be together and happy. Somebody is confused because the law is coming down for crimes committed in these toxic relationships, forbidden love units. The independent woman has sang her song, been transformed. Yeah. Hey, baby, I don't know. What do you say? What do you say? Hey, baby, I don't know. Money. Elon Musk is drinking. What? I thought he was a robot. I didn't know that he needed liquid. Sorry, being a little rude. I thought he was a kind of a robotic fella. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so somebody was fighting you for your spiritual inheritance. They wanted to get rich quick. And you solved the puzzle on this thug. They were coming after your territory, the territory of this royal family, this golden energy, this royal family. They were unsatisfied with the way things were going. And you went in and you solved the puzzle. What's going on here with this stupid interest? Why is the family losing money? Why are people getting trapped? Why is this happening? Why isn't that happening? I heard that you fell to tell. It could be that you chose to come down here and get entangled in this round and round thing, trying to solve this puzzle. This damn psycho and their trickery. King of Swords has mental clarity. So focus on the long-term discipline rather than short-term comfort. You chose sobriety. So now you're getting your wish. You learned your karmic lessons. These people are seen as trash. This is shocking news. They've been found guilty. They've been found guilty. You kept your house clean. You kept your mind clean. You quit drinking. If you did, you quit partying. You lived a nice life. You just kept yourself together. So now justice is being served for this family. The golden nugget has been emancipated. You were a prisoner of war. They said that they used the prisoners of wars as connectors and bridges into the territory of whatever lineage that is. And they've been wreaking havoc on the family, this royal family, for centuries now. And now they're in eternal regret. They're getting let go. They cannot come into the territory. There is maximum security. Everybody coming in gets scanned, and apparently once you're in, you're in. You cannot leave and then go fraternize with other people and tell them the secrets of the territory. We've got values in the reverse. So values, their values were all about money. They're not getting the money. This is no more, there's no more freaking feeding on this family. This is the end of their relationship with batteries. They will no longer be feeding or siphoning the energy or the life force out of the sons and daughters of the Most High God. You're leaving that baggage behind. Those who have been consuming you, feeding on your energy. Here, they are unemployed. They've never worked a day in their life. They've just been getting by off of shortening your life and siphoning out what your next 20, 30 years of living. By cutting your life short, they're like, hey, I just got 30 years of life force energy. Woohoo! Well, they got bad credit. Okay, they really did a bad thing. And it could be that very soon you're going to be encountering your actual person here. They all knew it. You got the 10 of Cups, so total love and support. You are the key. You found the core of the problem. Once you're in this community, there's no exit. You're in, you're in. We're not dealing with any trickery of some kind of psycho, some obsessed psycho. They refuse to let go. These are Agent Smith, Sneaky Pete's, Nasty Jack. Nasty Jack, don't come back. They missed their opportunity. So you're not dealing with any trickery from some psycho who won't let go. They have missed their opportunity. Once you're in, you're in. There's no exit. You're not going to go fraternizing with Mr. Psycho. We've got a new beginning, and there are serious barriers up to false flames. Those who don't actually have light within their system. There's anticipation of you perhaps getting a marriage proposal. Somebody, there's no seats. You're free. You get to move on. We got the mirror here. What's going on with the mirror? The mirror. You are free of this mirror third party, the copycat. So you're free of the mirror third party. And there's anticipation here that you may very well get your thing, your person. You may very well meet your person here soon. Barriers are up for false flames. Security measures are in place. Knight of Swords is wanting to defend their beliefs. They worked without results. They took a gamble with you and your energy, and they lost. They are being watched, doing love spells on you. They miss you. It could be that they backfired on them. Look, reunion. It could be, whoopsie. Could be that this Knight of Swords who was working without results, they gambled you and they failed. They are being watched. They're being watched because they were doing love spells. Look, miss you, reunion. They're being watched. You are reunited with your person. They're trying to do love spells in order to get back in your energy. They're being watched. They're in a Temperance reversed energy. Their feminine cohort or whatever it is choking them out. They're very upset that this didn't work out. And their person is not able to be seen as this royal divine temperance angel. They didn't get the goodies. This person is the gift, guided from above, the actual divine feminine, guided by Mother Nature. And this is the white rose, the innocent exhibit that they had been using, putting on display. The lifetime story of Earth Woman. They all got off on the suffering of it. Real nasty. Yep, habits. I don't know if we'll ever change habits. It was a habit for them to circulate divine feminine. Now the roses are being guided from above. We've got the Ace of Pentacles here. Dang it, Lori, stop throwing it on the ground. Ace of Pentacles, somebody was wearing a social mask. They were pretending to be somebody that they're not. They abandoned love. They threw it in the trash. They were deeply betrayed somebody. They kept the fact that you were praying and that you had a connection to the Most High God, Mother, Father. They kept it a secret. They kept it a secret that you were working as a team, that you had a relationship there. This snake was lying. This snake was lying about having an intimate encounter with you. They lied. That never happened. They lied about working with you. King of Pentacles is here drinking, trying to escape. There's resistance here. God is fed up. It's too late for them to do anything about this breakup. There's a separation. This is the end. Yeah. Whoever this King of Pentacles is, there's a breakup. They are separating out from responsible family units. It could be that they chose to break up with the family, and now it's too late for them to do anything about it. God is fed up with this King of Pentacles. He was in it for the freaking money. And he was consuming the divine family, the royal family, for freaking money. Yeah, look, commitment. They want forgiveness for what they did with this commitment. The truth has been revealed, and there is an understanding of what they have done to an irreplaceable, loving person. There's a lot of conversation happening here, and they don't know what to do now because you were able to fix the connection. They didn't appreciate the beauty of you, and so they're getting detached out of your energy. They made mistakes. They want to escape this, but they've been found unworthy of a connection with somebody who loves themselves because they despise that. Now they're feeling overwhelmed. They're in regret. They're feeling shattered and broken about this. They're in the shadows. They're just a simple reflection. And this is an unexpected outcome. They're in disagreement regarding these soul ties. They think you should understand how they feel. You don't even know who these people are, probably. They've just been out there siphoning your energy for freaking decades, centuries, neglecting you, daydreaming that they were you. Now they're confused, and the chaser doesn't want to chase anymore, but they could be having some kind of a weird identity crisis, reminiscing about how they laughed and joked about hurting you. They could not separate you from love. And now they're hurting from the damage that they caused because you're not there to bring temperance to the experience for them. They're running, but they sabotage themselves, and it's too late for them to take any action. They're getting held back from soul contracts because everything that they did to you has to come back to them. And they have to deal with it on their own. They have to stay out of your space, and you're getting a new chapter because these prideful people lied about you, trying to steal your destiny. Nasty little skinks. But this is the end line. Woo! And you know, everybody wants you to be mad. Everybody wants us to be mad, for sure. And I'll tell you, sometimes it's real easy to just roll with it. Sometimes it feels good to be mad, you know? And then I got to catch myself and I got to say, wait a minute, am I actually mad, or am I just receiving some angry energy? typically is the latter. Because as soon as I go listen to some music or I do something to kind of distract me, the anger is just gone. It's like, wow, well, I guess that was never part of me. It was just something I was picking up on. It's difficult sometimes when you're a super sensitive empath because you swear sometimes what you're picking up on belongs to you, you know, but it doesn't. It's not. So they were fighting you for your wealth, for the wealth that belongs to this territory. They were not happy with the way things were going, this thug. So they thought that they would just beat you up and take over your house and your wealth and all that good stuff. You solved the puzzle here. Happiness. To be happy means that you are on the right path. So because you were able to manage your emotions and remain in that upper vibratory frequency, you were able to solve the puzzle regarding this thug trying to steal your territory. See, they wanted you to be angry. They wanted you in South Node. They wanted you to be seen as a low vibrational, argumentative, you know, can't get along with anybody, impossibility. But you didn't go there because it's not you. So now they're in that energy because the energy was coming from them anyway. King of Swords knows the truth about it. Whatever they're doing to you is falling right off. It's rolling right off like water on a duck's back. You're getting your wish. You focused on long-term discipline rather than short-term goals. And these people, these thugs, everybody that's been working against you, trying to copycat or catfish you, they're getting some shocking news. They've been found guilty of being bedroom trash, trying to set you up. They couldn't make it stick to you. You're gonna get a wedding, a marriage proposal or something soon. You have nothing to be in grief over. Perhaps they're getting shocking news. They're seen as bedroom trash, little interferers, little munching mice. There's no grief here. You're not in grief about it. There's justice here, the law of cause and effect. You are the golden nugget, the prisoner of war. You gained a lot of insight while you were trapped here, and now you've been emancipated, and you got all that information that you can bring back to the territory, to the family, the golden light. And your values are not about money. They're not taking the money of this family. They're getting let go. They're in eternal regret because you aren't in regret. You're changing the past. We're not repeating the past. You're letting the past go, releasing the baggage, that which had been consuming you. They've got bad credit. They've never had a job. They're in debt. In the near future, you could be encountering your person, limitless, abundant being. You can also manifest whatever you want in this world. 10 of Cups, divine loves, total love and support. You found the core of the problem. You could be the key. You could be the key. And once people get scanned and go through the maximum security for gaining entry, it's like there's no exit. Once you're in, and that's it. You're there. You're not. There's no more going out and then buddying up with this psycho and then doing some trickery. They've missed their opportunity for that. They've missed their opportunity for that. They're worried. They've missed their opportunity for that, and they're worried. They didn't act when they should have. You're getting a new beginning. There is a barrier up for the false flames. Those who don't really have any light within them, they just sacrifice people who are alive and then dress up in the energy and then try to gain access. So there's barriers up for the false flames. There's some serious security that they have to go through to be verified as a true flame, a light bearer, because they're not able to be trusted. Look, so we've got third party, unable to be trusted. These mirrors, they can't come in. They're not trustworthy. They can't come into a territory of these beautiful families. Knight of Swords is trying to defend their beliefs. They worked without reward. They took a gamble on you and they lost. They didn't win. They were being watched. They were doing love spells, trying to get a reunion with you. Miss you. Could be that your person here misses you. And they're watching this person do love spells on you. They could be in trouble. Balance. So they miss you. You know why? Because you bring a state of perfect harmony into their world, and you do so without judgment. You are very kind to these people. And they were very cruel. And now they're in a temperance reversed energy because they didn't do the work. They were piling all that crap, all that nastiness on you. And now you're no longer processing it for them. They could not trap you. They're very upset. They're fighting with each other. Oh man, Jezebel's choking them out. You were the gift and you are guided from above. And they thought for sure they had you trapped. You're the divine feminine. You're guided by Mother Nature. You're the white rose, the innocent rose that they were exploiting for money habitually. And it could be whatever your purification rituals were, because this is a rose here. So divine feminine, the pure rose, whatever your purification rituals were that you never changed, like these were habitual patterns that you never changed. Successful. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. So you were always looking at the happy, the lighter side of life, trying to be happy, trying to maintain your space in that upper frequency vibration, right? So they're looking at your Ace of Pentacles here. They threw your love in the trash. They wore your energy as a mask. They've been doing the work that you were supposed to do, but they've been failing miserably because they weren't intended to do this. They're not equipped or prepared for it. They can just pretend. So they kept it secret that you pray and that you have guidance from above. Like somebody lied. Somebody lied in order to get somebody to work against you with them. They're really upset about this. This snake lied about the passion project. Somebody is afraid. They thought that the way to the bank was through intimate encounters. And it appears as though it's honesty. King of Pentacles is here drinking to escape emotions. You offered resistance and God is fed up. It's too late for this person. There's a breakup. They're being separated from responsible families. They're being separated from the mind of responsible families. They're losing their clairs. They're losing their gifts. And that's what I heard the curator say. Everybody's being bound. They're losing their gifts for misusing them, for hurting people, spying on people, spying on people, and then doing love spells to try to get their way into their world so that they could do magic, flip and copycat, steal their house, marry them, and then take over their house by some accidental whatever, So yeah, they're in trouble, man. They gambled with you and they lost. They're breaking up from the minds, the mental body of the responsible family units, or those who are responsible enough to be in that family unit. We got death here. This is the end of them having access to your mind. This is the end of them having telepathic connections. They may lose their connection to source. They're no longer going to get divine messaging. They're losing their clairs because they were misusing them to hurt people, to trap people, to set them up, to steal from them. You have grown in consciousness and awareness with an attitude of gratitude here. You accepted responsibility for your own well-being, and now those who were blaming you for their own foul ways need to accept that responsibility also. They were very prideful, but your courage, your fearlessness has earned you your freedom. Your honesty, your truth, even when the whole world was lying about you, you spoke the truth. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It is what it is. You know, somebody has been found guilty and they want forgiveness here. You're very disciplined. You have gifts of the soul that benefit yourself and others, and they're here to serve relationships that are for the higher good. But you got Casanova here who just wanted to pretend that they were important, to pretend that they were worthy or of high value. You know, and now they're in doubt. They got to surrender their need to control you. These envious people, because you are love and you're releasing all that negative energy in order to restore peace and happiness and purpose within the community. These guys hypersexualized everything, and they took away the actual purpose of people to, you know, the whole point of living. So there's that. So they were fighting you. They were fighting you for the land, but you're getting it back. They can't take it. The thug has, you know, you were unsatisfied with the way things were going. They were siphoning the wealth out of the territory. You solved the puzzle about this by staying in a higher frequency vibration of happiness. And now the empath, so these people have to stay in their own lane. The empath is stay in your own lane, because they don't care about anything except themselves. They're losing connection to the empath's mind. They can't be driving anything into their mind or setting them up or spying on them, astral projecting to their house and being invisible, hanging out in their house, giving them a wet dream or whatever. Yeah, it's nasty. You're the unicorn. So the King of Swords knows the truth. This witchcraft or whatever else is waterproofing right off of you. It's just rolling right off because you are a person of self-discipline. You're not a drunkie or a druggie. You're focused on long-term goals and you're getting your wish. You're the unicorn. You could have a rainbow covenant with God. I know the Divine Feminine was recently given that. And these money-hungry entities are seen as bedroom trash. This is shocking news. They've been found guilty of causing damage in communities and families, and now they're suffering the pain of it. You're not in grief. They're upset about that. The fact that you're not in grief has them upset. We've got red flag. So they're being warned. They're being warned. Justice is happening, the law of cause and effect. You're the golden nugget. You were the prisoner of war. You've been emancipated. You've brought all the information that you've gathered over the many thousands of years back home. And these ones are going to be let go, and they're going to be suffering an eternal sorrow. They didn't get the money of this family because you aren't in regret. There's no more regret. There is no more regret. These ones are going to have eternal regret because you aren't going to be feeding the vampire anymore. You're not a vampire. You don't have anything to be regretful of. You never siphoned energy out of anybody. They tried to frame you as such, but you're not. So you're leaving the baggage behind. These consumers that have bad credit, they were just feeding off of you, feeding on your tax dollars, most likely. They were just going right into their own pocket. Here in the near future, you may meet your person, an abundant, limitless being, just like you. We've got a black square. A black square. Black square. So you're an abundant, limitless being. This says you don't have to be on the front lines, but at this point in history, you can't be silent either. So your actions aren't just performative, they're based in real knowledge and include follow through. So you've been through many cycles of these challenges and you have gained real knowledge and you are bringing it out. So you're not on the front lines any longer, but you're not silent either. You're sharing your testimony, and you're a limitless abundant being who can do whatever you wish to manifest in the world. You can do it, but you're not out there saying, rah, rah, shish kumbah, look at me, I'm the greatest, right? You're not doing that. My doggy needs his toenails trimmed. Poor baby. So the Ten of Cups, divine love, total love and support. You are the key. You found the core of the problem. Once you get into this territory, there is no exit. Casanova or consumer, they're not coming in at all. So once you get into the territory, once you pass all the maximum security scans and all of that, there's no going back out, because we're not letting in any trickery of this cycle. Because once you go out, they can download, transfer soul value, identity, and whatnot into another vessel, a copycat, a lookalike, and then they can come back and do trickery. So once you get into the territory and you pass all of that, there's no leaving. Because we're not dealing with no psycho who refuses to let go of the territory or the life within the territory. They have missed their opportunity and they're worried about it. They can't, they're going to miss their opportunity. They can't be getting into the territory. Once you're in, and that's that. There's no over and back, like it has been. Over and back. They've been going over to do sacrifices and gather the clean, pure energy, and then they've been coming back, and there's no more doing that. Once you're in, you're in. Yeah, because they're not going to be receiving messages of the oracles. They're not going to be capturing any more prophets or prophetesses or oracles. They're not going to have access to the mind or the life within the territory. They've lost their opportunity. They've lost their oracle, and this divine source connected information, they can no longer have access to that. This is very serious business. They took all of that upper dimensional information, that intellectual property, and then they mutated it, twisted it, and then they tried to trick people with it, and they misled a lot of people. Thank you, Scheist Moon. I'm very happy. The only reason I really share these videos is because they help me make sense of the world. And, I'm just hoping to help others with that as well. That's why I share it. I'm glad. Thank you so much for the confirmation. So, all right, so they're worried. They've missed their opportunity. They can't tap into these oracles. Once the oracles or the prophets or the prophetesses, the ones who have the special gifts that have allowed them to move forward, they've passed all of their initiations, and they've earned the right to come into the territory. These others, they're upset. These psychos, they're very upset because you're not going to be going out, and they can't just flip and copycat you and then sneak in. So we got this new beginning. There are barriers up for the false flames, those who aren't actually generating energy or light from within their own temple. There is anticipation of an I love you and a proposal. Somebody may be offering you an offer of marriage. We've got free, moving on, letting go, loving you, free. And then the mirror, the third party enemies, they're not trustworthy, they're untrusted. And we've got podcast in the reverse. So they're untrustworthy and they're not going to be receiving any of these messages. No more messages, divine. The mirrors, the third party copycats, they're not getting divine messaging. You're free of that. Nobody's going to be giving them that messaging. So the Knight of Swords, thinking fast, they gambled with you and they lost. They're being watched, doing love spells on you. You're reunited. Somebody misses you because you were bringing a perfect state of harmony into the world without judgment. And now, look, you're not feral. There's nothing feral about you. You're very disciplined and in your purpose here. So this person is being watched, trying to gamble with the life path of others. They're in a temperance reversed energy, and their female counterpart or whoever, they're caught in the tensions. They're getting messed up because they lied about this person. This unicorn connected to source, being the gift, being connected, being guided. They lied. They told this person that you were easy peasy, going to get trapped, no problem. But you're a divine feminine, guided from above, guided by Mother Nature, which surrounds you. You're an innocent rose, and they had circulated you, used you. Your habitual patterning of maybe your purification rituals, your prayer work, and all of that, leads you to success. You know that there is no greater goal than to love. We've got a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, and the thing about this is, let me find that for you. You don't believe everything that you hear or everything that you think, because you know that there is those Wi-Fi streaming, like those Hulu and they got it, Netflix or whatnot. So, you know, if you can Wi-Fi stream that straight to your TV without any kind of hookup, they're Wi-Fi streaming soap operas of insanity and infidelity and anger and all this stuff through the mind. It's all a freaking program. So you don't believe everything that you think because you know that this is happening. It's a conspiracy theory. People want to drive into your mind thoughts of, just F the whole world, reject everybody, they're all the same, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it goes over and over and over. And one thing I'm going to start investigating is when those racing thoughts like that start coming through the mind. The St. John's wort is said to be an herb that interferes or protects from witchcraft and that kind of interference and stuff. So I was thinking next time that happens to me, I was going to do a St. John's wort and just see how long it takes for that to clear out. I know water works and breath work works and patience, but maybe the herb will work also. So it helps when you don't believe everything you hear, and you definitely don't believe everything you're told, because people and you're successful. So we got the Ace of Pentacles. Somebody was abandoning your love. They abandoned you. They were your energy and your face in your position of authority. They kept secret that you're a prayerful person and that you are working with the divine guidance from the above, divine feminine connected to Mother Nature. The snake lied about a passionate encounter with you, and now they're afraid over this love bombing, gaslighting business. King of Pentacles is drinking to escape. You offered resistance and God got fed up, and now it's too damn late. They're experiencing a breakup from responsible family units. This is the end of their having Claire's mental, like telepathy, or even spiritual oracle messaging. They might get complete, and they're jealous. So they're jealous of you. They were in competition with you. It was all about the pentacles for them. And for you, it was all about family. And, you know, they were just wanting to trap family. You were a prisoner of war. And this vampire had been siphoning off of you for a long, long time, centuries. They laughed about it, joked about it, how it had been happening for centuries. So this is a shadow demon, a fashion witch, a jealous person of a starseed legend, which is what you are, a unicorn. You're a royal one. You're royal. You're royalty. And they kept you trapped for a long, long time. Well, now you're free. You've been emancipated. But there is a big masculine energy out there. They don't care who emancipated you. They don't care who appointed you into this magnificent position of authority. They don't care that God is walking with you. They don't care about any of that. They want the energy, and they're working to get it. So there's a very serious masculine threat out there, and they have a female in the territory that is saying, don't worry about it. Once she gets set up, what do they call that? Once she gets set up with this enterprise, that they're going to flip and copycat her. So there's a female leadership, seen or unseen, I don't know, in this territory that was there prior, that is saying that's their plan. They've said it 3 times over the last 2 days, so they're very much serious about it. They're a simp. Told to go F off because they got to give the land back to those people who care for themselves and care for each other. They said last night that this land belongs to the people. They got to give the land back. God said that the land was going back to the original people. Now, this curator was doing something with the Germans. Apparently, there was a German that told him that. So back in the 1930s, they decided to do CRISPRing. They did genetic modifications of their tribe, and they thought that they were going to create some kind of a superior bloodline or race or whatever. And they wound up screwing themselves up. And then they decided that this royal being, this divine feminine, was the antidote for their genetic modification screw up. However, it looks like they can't use her as the antidote anymore. But there's a whole lot of off-planet entities that are looking at this original organic human being as a collector's item. And they want this big energy so that they can use it to empower their own nefarious needs for dominating and tyrannizing others. Yeah, Louis. Well, we got our cards out here. I think that maybe this is good. I think this is good. What do you think? You think this is good, everybody? Is this good read? Does it clarify something for you that you already intuitively knew? I hope. Thanks very much for joining me, everybody. I really appreciate you. I hope the night treats you kindly. I'm glad, Cynthia. I'm really glad. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Georgia. Yeah. Thank you, Gemini. Oh, I'm so glad, Mystic. Thank you. Excellent. All right, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a bunch.